We are live. It is 3:02 Central Standard Time in the United States, 9:02 GMT in the UK. This is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey.
Coming to you live the 9th day of November 2025. And already we're getting close to the Thanksgiving and the Christmases, right? We're in that last 6 weeks of the year kind of thing. It's starting to get cold.
No.
It got cold here last night. Actually, it's just 2 days, which is weird. So I guess a cold front came in last night. I don't know. It just was real windy, so I guess it was a cold front. And then this, I think overnight was like 25, and then today it got up to like 40, maybe 41. So Celsius wise, we're about 4 or 5 degrees Celsius. So it's but it's just like these next 2 days, and then I think Wednesday it's supposed to be back in the 60s. So I don't know. So it's starting to get a little cool, right? We're in that fall. Leaves are changing, colors of it. I know you're up in the northern hemisphere, so it's all the same in the UK and Europe and stuff. So it's getting that time, man. Already Christmas time. Already, I don't know about in the mall, but Christmas stuff is already out. I think actually it was out a couple weeks ago. I can't, man. Every damn year it seems like it just gets like there was stuff I saw, but it was before Halloween. There was stuff I saw some places that had little end caps and little. It wasn't all the way through, but you could kind of tell they were starting to kind of get it kind of out there. It was little.
The Advent calendars come out early, didn't they?
Advent calendars were there. Some ornaments, stuff, not trees, but stuff you put on the trees, right? You're starting to kind of now. When I walked into Walmart today, because we went to some shopping and stuff, and I mean it's full blown stuff everywhere. It's here we go. It's already Christmas. All right, cool. So if you celebrate, that's cool. We do too, but it's our family's low key. I'm not a big Christmas person. I'm not bah humbug about it. I just don't do a lot of holidays generally. So anyway, so how you
the little
been,
ones,
man?
isn't it? Yeah, so. It's really tough at work at the moment. Trade. I don't know if that says a lot about the marketing as a whole. Like handsets aren't selling as well. It feels like, but yeah, I'm all right. I'm decent. Sasha seems happy at the moment. That's a good thing.
Good. Right. So when you say trades, what did you like? Are we talking about people aren't buying as much? They're trade. I mean, what is it? What do you see in the store as far as retail?
Well, I mean, I was super hyped for Q4, right? If when you're in retail, Q4 is like the busy period, right? You think, it's going to be great, but it's just not been anywhere near where I want it to be. Our targets were nowhere near in my store, and it's just real tough. This time of year as well, with the iPhone coming out, you get a lot more fraud cases, and that's tough to take on a daily basis as well.
So explain that. What do you mean by a fraud case? Like somebody has their phone was stolen, or their iPhone was their Apple ID was hacked?
All different things. So you get impersonation theft, you get account takeovers. Like a lot of them, they'll call up. They can buy people's data, can't they, on the black market, which happens a lot. We know it happens on the dark web, and they call these people and pretend to be the network and say, we can give you an upgrade. We can give you an Apple Watch and this for 50 quid when it's like a ridiculous price. But people fall for it and they give them their access codes and everything. Next minute, it's really sad though, because the people when they realize they've been fooled, how they feel about it, it's just horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. I know, because it's like, I mean, just when you get scammed, first of all, just the embarrassment of it would probably be enough, right? But then actually there's loss, right? There's actual, there's financial damage. Now your account's compromised. Now you have to have a whole new Apple ID. So it's bad. It can be pretty crazy. So stay vigilant, folks. I mean, basically, if somebody's calling you with an offer that's too good to be true, it's very likely is, especially if they're calling you from over on the phone, like just reaching out to you at random. I know banks talk about all the time that basically they're going to, they got people saying they're calling from Bank of America. The funny thing is I actually had Bank of America call me on a charge, and I thought it was fraud because I was like, nope. And I called the number on the back of the card. I didn't even answer the phone call. I looked at the message and I read it from the transcription. I was like, yeah, I don't care. Anyway. And then what I did was, dogs are going crazy. And so I called the number on the back of the actual card to called Bank of America directly, because that's how you can definitely tell that you're not getting frauded, right? Because if you
Yeah.
call them and you initiate the call, and I said, hey, they asked for this, and they gave me a reference code, and I'm not giving anything over the phone when they call me. And he goes, no, that was actually us calling you. We were checking on a charge. I was like, oh, okay. Well, now you can check on it. He goes, I just appreciate, because a lot of people would just give that information up, but they weren't asking for like passcodes or PIN numbers or anything like that. But I don't know. It even said Bank of America on the caller ID, so I probably was legit. And the funny thing is, the number they said to call back wasn't the number on the back of the card. It was an 855 number. I was like, I'm not calling that back. So I just called the number directly, because it says it, or call the number directly to Bank of America's hotline. It's like, oh, okay. So that's what I did. And so a funny thing was, it was actually a legitimate fraud check. They said, we see a charge and we don't recognize it. Did you actually do this? I was getting gas on the way back from our camping trip. And I guess they stopped at a gas station that wasn't close. And I used my credit card, which I usually don't do.
It's good they do checks like that, though.
Yeah, and they were good about it. And I was like, yeah, no. And they put a hold on it, but then they released a hold. And he said, thanks for verifying it. Sorry. So who's in the chat today? We got Jimmy, and we got Andrew Walker. Hello, Sam. Hi, Joe. Hello. How you doing, Andrew? And so anyway,
good crowd in there today.
It was my 40th birthday. Happy 40th. Oh, milestone.
Welcome to the 40 club.
Right. Or in my case, the 50 club. You're still get there eventually. No hurry. Right. Currently sitting in a hot tub watching the show. And a typical it's weather. It's a hot tub in the rain. That's cool. That's good. Yeah, that's what I got. We I was supposed to do it Saturday, but I got into something on Saturday, and I was supposed to clean out my hot tub. But it's drained. I just got to sanitize it and then fill it up. And I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, and
you must have a drink in hand, surely.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's raining in the UK. I know it's crazy. Jesus, it sounds miserable there. I mean, as far as weather-wise, it does, man. I mean, the rest of the country says beautiful, great, but it's like it rains a lot there. I guess it's just because of where it's at. And it's an island. And I guess it's just the weather gets, because it's so ocean. There's no mountains to block any kind of weather fronts. It just stuff blows through and it just rains a lot, and it's cloudy and just drizzles and stuff. That sucks. He's under a canopy. Okay, so you're not getting wet. Okay, well, that's cool. Good deal. And he's not with O2, and I get calls. Oh yeah, the scams.
Yeah. So I used to be a VE, right, and I still get calls. People pretending to be EE. These scammers, they get you get the information from somewhere, don't they? And yeah.
Our buddy TA's in the chat. Hey, TA, I haven't seen you in a while, man. I know how you've been. I know you've been busy with all the stuff, so appreciate you, man. Thanks for sliding on into it.
Apple business.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, it's all. And then we got Jermaine. All right. Hell, you made it for a change. I know. Well, you're busy. You got things to do, and I mean, when you come by and swing in, we always appreciate it. We realize that sometimes you got other stuff going on, so it's all good. Thanks for everybody.
Jermaine's had some hands-on with some really nice devices recently.
Oh yeah, always. Yeah, always. I mean, this is a good time. I mean, we got the Vivos out and stuff. So,
he was out in Singapore as well.
Yeah, I mean, so he's been doing some traveling. It's cool, man. We're happy with that. So, anyway, yeah. So Oppo's missing. Well, I don't know that. I guess Dutch media contact is slow. Yeah, I can imagine. So, I mean, at least, and then again, this is the comment I always make every time. Is in the UK and then Europe and stuff like that, and even Asia, you have way more availability on handsets than we just do in the US. It's kind of locked down. It's pretty much between. I mean, it's really Google, Samsung, and Apple. I mean, yeah, you got Moto in there, kind of, sort of, but not really. It's the big
OnePlus, and yeah, kind of.
Not really. I like I said, I've seen. I think in the entire time that I've been paying attention to watching what kind of handsets people have, I think maybe I've seen 4 or 5 actual OnePlus devices. If anything, I see more cheaper Motos, like Moto G styluses or Moto G powers and stuff, or just Mate 30s and stuff, or those kind of phones. Not many flips. I've never seen anybody else have a Razr. I'm starting to see a few more Samsung flips. Obviously, Anna's got one now. But pretty much, just Samsung and Apple and Google. I do see a lot more Pixels now. I know a lot of people have Pixels and stuff like that. So, that kind of thing. I guess
I'm getting in for review.
A Pixel? No,
I'm getting a nothing phone free for review. I'll only get 28 days though. But yeah, I'm excited to try that out.
Yeah, and it's funny because I really haven't heard much about Nothing kind of. I mean, I guess it's just because they're between cycles, but I don't. I don't hear much about them anymore. They're kind of just like another manufacturer, and yeah, they're pretty cool. But it feels like that initial energy and all the like the hoopla is kind of subside. I think it sounds like it's subsided because I don't hear much about nothing anymore. And
again, it's probably where you're in the US. They're not really as big, are they? There, so I think that impacts what you hear.
Yep.
They're very much about doing their thing. They've got because they've got the CMF brand as well.
Right.
It seems like they're always launching something new.
Yes, I'm getting apps, and I get absolutely nothing. Nobody sends me because I don't review phones, so I don't ever get any of that stuff. And so we're 100% transparent and keeping it a buck. I'm not going to review phones. I do not have any interest in that. It's just not my thing. There's a ton of people doing it that are way more talented than I am. It requires a lot of time, a lot of effort to make it. And I just don't care. Plus, it doesn't matter because it's just confirmation bias for the most part for a lot of people, just because. Yeah. And me, I mean, I'll call it like I see it, but it's just I don't know. It just doesn't. It's never really appealed to me. I've thought about like unboxings
for 4 weeks now. 4 weeks.
Wow. Well, I mean, you got the work things going, and that's the thing too. And that's the shame is, I see people like Adam Matlock, and I see the Shane Craigs and those folks that are starting to crack into the 50s and 60s and over 100,000, and they're talented, but Shane's on there every day. Adam's on there every day doing content of some kind, even if it's a short, even if it's a little blurb, even if it's something. And
is he full time though?
I think they both are now. I know Shane is. And I think Adam is too. But remember, Adam's an attorney by trade, so he's he might do something to subsidize it. I don't know, but I mean, I'm saying they're prolific. They put out content every day. There's always a video by Shane, sometimes 2 and 3 videos a day, and I get it, but that requires a lot more content, a lot more commitment than I'm willing to do, and I just don't want to do it. And on top of that too is. And if you talk to both of them, they get a lot of feedback that's negative and unfair and sorry, I think kind of shitty responses from people to what they do. And I guess that's the rub, right? When you get into that content,
I they're bothered by it. They're used to it, aren't they? So.
Well, I don't think they're devastated by it, but I think I know Shane has talked about in some of his videos that he gets a lot of. I mean, he sometimes will start to kind of get, it bums him out a little bit. I don't think it devastates him, but I mean, it's hard to hear that kind of. It's again, if somebody's having honest feedback and criticism, or if you have a take that somebody wants to debate with you about or whatever, that's fine. But I guess my argument's always been, like. I don't know what's for you. Like, you know what I mean? It's when you do these reviews, there's no way to do it objectively. I know people say this is an objective, honest review. Okay. I'm not saying you're being dishonest, like on purpose, but there's no way that you can speak to everybody because everybody's needs are different. And I watch the same video and I don't care about the camera so much. So if you say that the camera's really great, I really don't care if the camera's great, but then it's like, photography to me, it seems like it's extraordinarily subjective on what you think is a good picture or whatever. Some people like natural shots, this, bokeh, that, whatever. And then you get bogged down in these conversations about, well, you said the camera's good and the camera's potato. I take pictures. It's just like in the battery life, it's all those same arguments, right? Everyone's like, well, my battery life's great. Well, on my handset, it sucks. Well, you may have a shitty handset. You may be in conditions where you're a lot in different, if you live in New York City, right, and you're on constant towers and it's power switch. I mean, as opposed, you know what I mean? Or as opposed to a rural area. Yeah, there's lots of different ways. Also, some apps. I mean, the only way you can really do it is have the exact same phone in the exact same configuration from the exact same date of manufacturer and have the exact same apps and the same carrier and walk around the same area and see. Because so that the conversation is, I don't know. It seems like it's a hassle. It's a hassle to me. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but people want content, so someone's got to do it.
Right. And then some people have to do the things that I do, so that's why I do it, and I don't make content, right? They do make the content.
This is content. We're making
Well,
content.
I mean,
right
I
now.
don't do reviews. So, and I just sit here and bullshit about tech, so it's all good. It doesn't matter. I just again, I've also known, I just from the beginning. That's why I used to have the show with Matt, and he wanted to be a Twitch streamer, and that just seems to me it's like you're playing Call of Duty. I don't know. It just seems like 9 million people are playing Call of Duty, and about 10,000 people are streaming at the same time. Like, what is it about your content that differentiates yourself?
Yeah.
From anybody else? I don't have the answer to that.
It's very saturated. And
you have to have something that it just doesn't, there's too much of the same thing. It's like, I guess you can randomly get in there. So, you can do what like Dr. Disrespect does, right? And you get into that kind of thing, or you can do these, or I'm here to tell you folks, the women, it's a lot easier for them to get engagement than it is for guys to do it. And especially if, and if you know, right? Let's keep it real. A lot of these women are younger and they are pretty and they have attributes physically that appeal to people and they leverage
OnlyFans and
I don't even care about that. I'm just saying, but it's at least they're bringing something else other than just somebody playing a game. And so that's why even the Twitch streaming, I even tried to, I think one time when I had the old channel, when I had the Twitch, when I was working with it, I think one night I just decided to start the thing. And then I was playing Diablo 3 or something. I don't know what I was just playing it. And then like, nobody's watching. Like, I didn't really care. I just didn't, I didn't know what to do. Like, I don't want to go through all that stuff. And then again, I don't have the time. I take that back. That's not 100% true. I do have the time. I don't want to dedicate that time to that, because then if you're charging people money and stuff, then you feel like you have to deliver a product, right? You're under the gun. Whereas
absolutely.
Nobody's paying for this. I don't want anybody to ever pay for this. There's never going to be a paywall, because why in God's name would we try to paywall any of this horse shit that we do? Like, we just have fun. We enjoy just sitting and talking about stuff. And I've had so much feedback from people like, oh, you could do this and you should do that. And your channel would grow or your podcast would grow. I'm like, dude,
we never asked it to grow.
Yeah. The fact that we have really cool people that come in here and listen to us is fantastic enough for me. And if it's only, a couple hundred downloads a month and, only have 15 or 20 people in the chat that come through and talk and they're engaging, I could be talking to nobody right now. It could be literally nobody, just me and you just riffing for an hour and a half.
Hopefully I'm there at least.
Well, no, I'm just saying, but on the show, there would be nobody actually listening or downloading it, right? People actually download and listen to this show. I think it's the same collection of our community, but maybe, who knows, maybe somebody stumbles upon this on a thing and they're looking for tech and we show up, but
they think it's something else. They're looking for a different Nomad tech project and they find us.
Well,
sorry about that.
I know. So again, there are different kinds of content. This is creating content, but I'm not creating content to leverage it into a review. Like, I'm not reviewing phones. I'm not unboxing phones. I'm not doing day in the life. Oh, here's that, like what David Kogan does. I'm not doing any of that shit. This is just a podcast. I do this. Also, fun fact, Joe and I do not rehearse any of this ever. There's no scripting. There's no rehearsals. I don't read news articles. We don't do any of that. I don't edit out blurbs. I started out the show by saying, hey, it's 2:00. It's not. It was 3:00. I'm an idiot. I even screwed up the intro. Jesus. Other people would fix that. Like, but I've never, in all the 45 shows we've done with this and all the shows I did on the Nomad, the Across the Podcast with Matt, I never once cut any, edited, or moved anything out. If there was dogs barking, horn honking, somebody talking in the background, I went offline a couple times. Joe got drunk on a show. Yeah. I didn't cut any of that out. We just went with it and that was great, right? I would feel bad about it. So yeah, I am doing a podcast. And so yes, there is a contradiction there. I should specify that I don't want to do content in order to try to leverage it into some kind of a stream or become a person, a full-time creator, influencer, podcaster. I just don't. I just don't have an interest in it because it requires a lot of dedication and time and also talent, which I have none of that. I do okay. We do all right. And we just have fun with it. So, and anyway, so that's it. So I noticed you get the hoodie on. Is your hair bad or is it just cold?
Jedi today. I'm feeling a bit cold. Yeah.
Is it cold? I mean, is it colder there? I mean, because I know here it's in St. Louis. It's cold.
It's been fairly mild, to be honest, in the UK.
Okay.
especially for November. But yeah, I think it's dropped a little bit today, but I just feel run down. I mean, last weekend I was ill, and I as well. Didn't do my pub meet like I was supposed to. Hey, John.
Hey,
He
sure.
says look like a Jedi as well. Yeah,
You do. If it was black, it'd be even better. It's really kind of a Mace Windu kind of thing going on, but be that as
I'm a Temu Jedi.
a Timu, yeah, he's Timu. He's yeah, Alibaba Jedi.
I've never used Temu. Have you? I've never.
I think I looked at something on Temu once because I was looking at. I think I was looking to buy it. It directed me to a Temu site. I've never bought anything from them. And what's the other one?
I've been bombarded with like emails from them, but I've never actually bought anything.
Yeah, and yeah. So no, I've never bought anything on Temu, but I have looked at their website and I've just glanced at it. It just I don't know. It just seems sketchy as hell to me.
Yeah,
I don't know what it's just the way it's set up and the way the interface looks. It just I don't. And things are like, hey, you can get this thing and it's $4, and every time you go to the website, it has like this wheel of spin, like you got free stuff and 4,000. I don't know. It just seems like it's so over the top. It just feels shady.
It's too much for me. It's just like shit popping up all over the place, and I'm like,
right. It's just it's intense, man. It's the UI is crazy, especially.
I can't concentrate.
Right. Exactly. So yeah. So Luis, thanks for the call out. I apologize for contradicting myself. I wasn't as clear as I probably should have been, but hopefully that's clear. Like I said, I just, I try to do that. And like I said, I enjoy doing this. And this is really cathartic. It's just coming in here. We talk about some phones. We talk about stuff. We get to rant about things, and it's for an hour.
Ranting is always fun. Have you got a rant for today?
Not really. So basically,
Sam,
well, I kind of do, but it's more automotive. It's more okay. So it's more automotive. So part of the reason why I didn't do some stuff around the house, which is John's, not John, sorry, the hot tub. Everybody in the hot tub kind of thing. So I was going to clean. Andrew's in the hot tub. I was going to clean it out. I have it drained, and it's been drained for a while. I was going to scrub it out today because I was supposed to do it Saturday because it was still warm. I didn't want to do it today because I don't want to get wet and be outside. Anyway, so I got up in the morning and I was like, you know what? I've been looking at getting a car that other than the Mustang for a while, and I'm just going to go do it. I saw a deal online. It was at the local dealership, drove up there, and I went and did it. So for folks that are not in, I posted on some of our internal chats and stuff like that. So I got rid of the Mustang that's where the rant kind of begins on why. And I bought a 26 brand new Mini Cooper. See, yellow, bright yellow, like Bumblebee. It looks like Bumblebee. Basically, I didn't call it Bumblebee because it's not a Camaro, or it's not a Camaro,
submarine, didn't I? Submarine.
Yellow Submarine. It's more like Yellow Submarine. And also it's not Bumblebee because it's not a Camaro or a Volkswagen Beetle. So anyway, I've been wanting one for like 25 years. Problem is the old Minis when they first came out in the US were kind of garbage. They were not really well made. They were pretty unreliable, and also because they were foreign built and European built, parts and stuff were expensive, labor's expensive. It's BMWs, and essentially let's if people don't know, BMW makes Mini. It's not made by a British company. However, fun fact, they're actually assembled in Oxford, so they are all built in the UK. But it's essentially a BMW is what it is.
Yeah.
Same tech. And that's the thing is when they first took it over, it was really a lot of British Mini kind of DNA and thought, right? And as years have gone on, the cars had to be refined a little bit, and it's more BMW. And of course, just like BMWs, it's over-engineered like crazy because German cars going to German, right? They over-engineer crazy shit. So I've been wanting one for a long time, and I finally decided to get one, and I absolutely love the car for a couple of different reasons. But back to and so this is kind of weird because if you're a Mustang owner, a lot of people don't understand, like, first of all, one, why would you get rid of the car? And two, why would you get a Mini? Because I think there probably is the most, other than having like buying a truck or an SUV, vehicle-wise, it's pretty much the polar opposite of each other, right? Anyway, so... And people in the UK and people in Europe probably aren't going to understand this because there are probably not many Ford Mustangs probably floating around the European continent. So after having two for years, I've learned a couple things about owning a Mustang. Number one, Other Mustang owners kind of suck for the most part, because their thinking is if you have the V6 older ones or you have the EcoBoost 2.3 liter, it's not a real Mustang unless it's a V8. That's not true. I don't give a shit what they say. I will fight you on that hill. It's a Mustang. You know why? Because Ford makes it and it's a badge. Now, my argument would be the Mustang Mach-E, the electric SUV. That's not really a Mustang because it's not a coupe or a fastback, and it's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie. Had to throw that in there just because it felt funny. Probably isn't. Whatever. It really is a Ford.
Woogie.
Yeah. It's electric. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. To me, the Mach-E, the Mustang Mach-E is really a Ford Edge with a tri-bar taillight. That's an electric SUV. Yeah, but I don't hate on it because Ford puts a Mustang badge on it. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, but if you're asking me, it's not truly a Mustang because it's not a coupe, right, or a fastback. So the problem with having a Mustang is if you have an EcoBoost, you're looked upon unfavorably. And then but the rub, what they don't tell you is if you got a GT, you should got a Boss 302. If you got a Boss 302, you should got a Mach 1 or a Dark Horse or a Shelby. So here's the problem. I'm not tracking the car out. I'm not driving out it's a daily driver. I'm commuting back and forth to work. So and also I drive a long distance, right? So there's this toxic like culture. And also too is I don't want to tune it. I don't want to ECU it. I don't want to put headers on it. And I don't want to do all that shit. And the problem is like, it's ultimately a modifiable car, but I just don't want to, right? But I wanted a Mustang. So that's the first kind of rant. Mustang owners just kind of suck about other Mustang owners. They're just not really a good community of people. They kind of give you shit about stuff. The second thing is about the car is it's utterly impractical as a car. It doesn't do really anything great, especially an EcoBoost. Now, at least with a GT or Mach 1 or a high-performance Shelby, at least it's fast as shit. You can dyno it out. You can put 800 horsepower. You can go crazy, track the car out, take it to shows. And then all people will always give you compliments about the car. Even if you have the EcoBoost, mine was all blacked out. It was really cool. Blacked out. I mean, I'm talking, it was murdered out. Blacked everything, tinted windows, the whole 9 yards. I got compliments on the car all the time. And I was like, oh, thank you. But the thing is too is, you can't tow anything with it. You can't put anybody else in the back seat. I mean, it's got a back seat technically, but it's so damn small. It's really a 2+2 is what it is. And it's like, it doesn't have any storage. You can't really put a lot of shit in it. Although I bought a Mini, so storage clearly isn't my problem because the Mini doesn't have a lot of storage either. But be that as it may, right? And then you can't tow anything with it. Also, it's rear-wheel drive, and even the EcoBoost, it has a lot of torque. It's terrible in bad weather. Now, if you live in California or a place where it doesn't snow, cool. Then, it rains, who cares? But if you had a place 3 months a year, it's just, I've tried to drive that thing in the snow, and it's absolutely anxiety. And I'm a good driver. I mean, I'm really good at emergency vehicle driving and handling cars. That car always used to freak me out anytime it would snow or whatever. Yeah. It's just not practical. You can't tow anything with it. It's utterly impractical as a vehicle. It's just a sports car. And so that's the other problem. The third thing I've run into, and this is one of the main reasons I'm just tired of this car, or Mustangs in general, is you can't go anywhere driving around where anybody doesn't want to fucking race you into the damn thing. Every goddamn intersection I would get to, somebody would look over at me, and it would be either a young kid or another person like a Camaro or a Challenger or a Charger. Look, man, if you have a fucking Killer Bee or a fucking Scat Pack or a Hellcat, I'm not gonna race you. First of all, it's an EcoBoost. Second of all, it's a goddamn residential street or it's a city street. What are we gonna do, dude? Now, if we went to if I took it to a track, then obviously you're going to drive it like that because it's a track. You're going to, you're
That's what it's made for then.
Right. It's made to track it out. You do lap times and everything else. You can do quarter miles, all that shit. Totally cool. If we're sitting here and I'm trying to get to the grocery store, I'm in traffic. I don't want some asshole. And it's always another goddamn GT or Eco in some of their cars. And they just hit it. I'm like, I just look at him like, you're a douche, dude. I don't want to race you.
I heard what you do, Sam, is you put your Ray-Bans on, you look at them.
Yeah.
You slightly go in reverse, and then when the lights change, you go backwards.
Right. They beat me.
They're racing themselves.
and really at the end of the day, so I've kind of worked itself out. So, and so I get to the car, and also this kind of leans into the tech part. So it's not just a car RAM. So generally speaking, when it came to cars, I like them a little bit more basic. I don't like all the bells and whistles and foolish. That's part of the reason why I don't like the Teslas and stuff. Because essentially that's just a rolling PC is what it is. It's just a bunch of, it's a computer that it has, and it's fine. And then what I liked about the Mustang was the two I had was it was streaming the all analog dials, right? Physical switches for everything, analog dials. Hell, my one was a manual, didn't even have automatic transmission, right? Even the entertainment center, I mean, it was the basic one. It didn't have Android Auto, there was no Apple CarPlay, it was none of that shit. Fast forward to this car, and it's nuts. First of all, they took away the first of all, I like the fact it's minimal. Like there's no nothing on the dash, it's just a center console thing. And so I like that. And the screen is big. It's a big 9.4-inch oval. A lot of people don't like that. And at first, when Becky first actually saw it, she's like, I don't know how I feel about that big screen in the middle of the dashboard. It's kind of like, I don't know if I like that. But it kind of, once you get in there, it kind of grows on you. And so, and then, so I'm going to try to find some, so I'm going to show people, because I don't know if anybody has actually probably looked at it. And I'm trying to find an image of the interior of what the new ones look like now.
They've been doing it like that for quite a number of years now.
Not with the way it changed in 2025. So the interior
it's changed.
Yeah, so it's changed. And I'm trying to find a picture of the interior here on this. Jesus God, I have to maybe I have to go interior.
I'm with Jermaine. He's saying he likes buttons, like physical buttons. I much prefer to have some kind of physical buttons.
And I do too as well. And that's another thing too. So it was really difficult for me. Okay, so here's mine doesn't look quite like this, but go back here. Let me open. Okay, so I'd do this. Let me show the screen. So
just quickly, Sam, when you say, obviously because I've got a daughter, when you say the word mini, that's the word we use for her private parts. So like she goes toilet, we wipe the mini.
Oh God, perfect.
So anyway, mini.
Yeah, and see, you get, and this is cool. This is what it looks like, and I can't really zoom in on it, unfortunately. I'm trying to open.
I like the clock on it. Is it a clock?
Yeah, it's a. Well, here's the part. It's kind of
always on display.
Here we go. I got it better. Here, I got to do it. Let me stop this.
Stop. That's kind of the yellow of yours, though. There, isn't it? The bottom.
Yeah. So I'll just do this so I can kind of get an idea. And again, this is tech related, folks. We're just hang in there. I promise we'll get there. So that's what mine kind of looks like. And so now mine's all black except the seats. The seats kind of like light color, but the interior is totally black. So this screen, and I know it's like a lot of people. At first I was like, I don't know, but it's kind of cool because they have these things called experiences. So you can go between like go-kart mode and different kind of modes and stuff. What's nice about it is everything on the screen. And I think I'm going to do a video on just like interfacing with this to kind of show people. So what happens is when you pull up these interfaces, it's right there in the middle, right? So what's kind of cool, but there's a heads-up display, which is kind of nice. So you can see the speedometer and stuff. And that actually retracts. You can actually retract that down. I like it up. A lot of people zonk the car and they think it's
I like that.
I kind of like it. They should say, well, it shouldn't be on the windshield. I'm like, you know what? God damn, man. It's so what? It's like
it's transparent, though, isn't it? So
yeah, yeah, you can see through it. It's so it's not like occluding. You can look through it, but it's so low on the dashboard, it doesn't really. And here's the thing: if you don't like it, you can just go in and disable it. There's a thing will just retract back in the dashboard, and you can.
Oh, I like that.
I like that. And also too is like everybody's like, well, you can't see the speed. I'm like, yeah, but you're with cars. I mean, you know how fast you're going. Do you need a speedometer to know how fast you're kind of going? You kind of know how fast you're going if you're driving, right? But you can just glance over real quick in the center. It's not that. And all minis have been like this, where the dashboard isn't like, even on the older ones, it's like an analog, right? The thing also too I like about it is, you see how like it's just this. There's the park. Yeah. This is the gear selector. That's the start button. These are the experiences, and that's the radio knob. Now, climate control, and it's funny because I was like, well, what are you going to do about climate control? Guess what? There's a way around the climate control. So what climate control is, you have to push this thing, and if you click on this, different things in here, like you click on this middle thing, it will go to nav, and then it'll show you the TAC. And if you click on the top, it'll show you your radio. It's kind of intuitive. It takes a little while to get used to it. There's a lot of features. It's like a Samsung phone. There's a lot of stuff I've only had the car 2 days, so give me a break. The other thing I like about it too is there's voice activation. You say, "Hey, Mini." So, and this little Sparky thing comes up. It's a little stupid, goofy little thing, right? It's cute for kids. Sure should love it. It comes up and it says, whoa, it comes up and it says, and you say, set the climate in the car to 70 degrees. It will set the climate. You didn't have to touch shit. It's voice activated. Yeah.
That's nice.
So all these people like, oh, because I read reviews online, people were pissing about it. Like, I have to push the button, then I have to push it again to set the thing. It's unintuitive. How about this? You can just say it. I didn't try it today.
I mean, hands-free is good as well when you're driving.
Yeah, you don't have to touch nothing. No, would I prefer a physical knob? That's a dumb question because I've had a Mustang that had physical everything, right? I do, but it's kind of cool.
Loves a physical knob.
I like knobs. Yeehaw. Anyway, so
that could be a t-shirt. That could be
Sam likes knobs, right? But anyway, it's like, and so the tech is really cool, and there's voice activation. It's got panoramic, and it's got and this is the other thing. It parks itself. That freaked me all the way out. So I was in a parking spot. So if you got cars, I mean, I have no problem parking, which is, I can parallel park and back in and all that kind of stuff. So, and again, I realized I forgot how kind of long a Mustang is. A long car. It's a long vehicle. Sure. I mean, I guess. And then that's the argument I hear. And I'm in this same boat. He's doing the same thing I used to do.
Jermaine said there's more things to break. That's what
it is, more things
flying to now.
But it's a car, so everything's going to break. Eventually. At some point, everything's going to fail on that vehicle. And besides, if things break,
if Sam tugging on them knobs, they're definitely going to break at some point.
Right. And so, yeah, I get it. Right. I understand. But it's like your phone. Your phone is way more intuitive. Things break. You can drop it. The radio can fail. The battery can swell. There's a bunch of shit going on. But it's one of those things where I get it. And up until 2 days ago, I was in the same boat. I'm like, nope, analog everything, physical this, emergency brake has to be an actual emergency brake, no electric bullshit, all that kind of stuff. And I don't want my car to be my phone. I get it. It's not the same thing. And do what you want. And I'm not saying that to be kind of slick. I'm just saying, I agree with you. I see it both sides, but I tell people every day, it's like, if you're going to buy here's the thing, do me a favor. And I know Jermaine's got an old car. If you buy a car that's made in 2026, I will find me a car that they make, at least in the United States, that doesn't have all the shit in it. Yeah, and this is the most basic model of the Mini Cooper. It's the base model. Now, if you're one of these people that you can go buy a 67 fucking Mustang, go for it. If you want to buy a 1996 Acura, fine. And then you have all that non-technical shit. That's really cool. I get it. However, right?
Or if you want to buy a weekly bus pass, get the bus.
Or like I said, I wish I lived in an area where I didn't have to buy a car. I would. People think that because I'm an American, like I love to drive, and I do. But dude, if we had a good public transportation system or bus system or whatever like that, or I could bike to work. Shit, dude, I'd never buy a car. Nope, I don't even care. Driving sucks.
About an electric bike.
I've tried them. They're kind of cool. The problem is I noticed that with me, I was like trying to pedal. Normally I wouldn't, and then it got to the point where, well, you have access to this thing where it assists you. So I found it was like, and then one of them, it's like, you can turn the pedal, you can just go. It's just like a little moped. It'll be all electric battery, right? You don't have to pedal really at all. And I think for me, my buddy had a bike, and I thought the best setting for me was where it was setting number 1, where it little bit assists you when you're pedaling, but not much. You're still doing like maybe 80% of the pedaling force wise, but it's kind of just helping you out a little bit.
It's like in a low gear.
Right. And then it was good, especially if you're going to go up hills and stuff. Cause sometimes I don't know about you, but man, I'm getting older. I mean, maybe when I was 20 and I was a kid, I used to I had a little Huffy BMX, bike. It had just one gear, right? It wasn't like a 10-speed or anything. And I could ride the thing all day and be perfectly fine. As you get to be 50, I get a little tired. So I've tried the electric bikes. I don't like the way they're a lot heavier. That's the problem. Because obviously they have the battery and stuff. And they seem to be more they're all like I can't think of the name. I'm drawing a blank on it. They're more like mountain biking. Like I don't see them in like a 10-speed form, right? They're all like, they look like mountain bikes or like BMXy kind of bikes. They're not like a 10-speed or a racing bike, right? Because they're supposed to be thin and light and easy. I don't know. And they have multiple gears. All the ones I see that are electrical bikes, they kind of look like a mountain bike. And I mean, that's cool, I guess, and everything. I don't know. So I'm just figuring out the tech. Again, I would prefer physical buttons. Yeah, I realize that some stuff is going to break, and that's why I bought a warranty for the entire time that I'm going to have the car. So if something does break, I take it back to Mini, they fix the car. And if it becomes something that's major problem that they have to replace, so I have, and that's what you kind of have to plan for, right? So if you're one of these people that, and I agree, Jermaine, more things to break.
And
they do
official dealership then where you are.
Yeah, there's an actual Mini. There's only one in St. Louis though. It's Mini St. Louis.
Yeah, that's
unfortunately, fine, unfortunately, it's not super close. But again, I drive to work every day downtown, so it can be on my way back.
Yeah.
So I just have to be a little bit more diligent about it. And yeah, I realize that, and another thing too is, and this is the other kind of part that I noticed. A lot of people I know, and I know Jermaine does. This doesn't apply to him, but a lot of people really don't work on their own cars anymore, or because of the fact that they're so complex now that people. I mean, it used to be back in the day, you didn't buy a service when you had like a 99 Civic, right? A Honda Civic or a Toyota Camry or a Toyota Corolla or a Ford Pinto or whatever, right? You did all that stuff yourself. You replaced, hell, I remember having an 84 Pontiac Grand Prix. My dad and I, the water pump failed on it, so it was just overheating all the time. My dad and I took the whole goddamn water pump apart. We took it off and took all the belts off and put on a water pump on a car. I mean, you could do that back in the day. People don't do that anymore. I mean, I don't know about you guys. There's this thing about in the United States where people that do like truck drivers and all these trades and like they're short car mechanics, like service techs. I don't know if that's in the UK for cars, but in the United States, it's becoming sort of a big deal where people are taking their cars in for service because now these cars require different kinds of service than they used to be, right? And at the end, and it's like some of these people are telling me just to do some of the stuff, it takes a whole day to do an oil change just because they don't have the staff to do. They have too many cars, and there's just not enough people getting into service tech. Like younger people, they're not getting into those fields. So. One place I went, it was during the pandemic, so that it probably isn't the best example, but they told me that if you brought a car to them, like you have to schedule, they weren't taking cars for schedule for like 3 weeks. I'm thinking, what if you have what if you have an engine failure, right? Let's say you have a blown head gasket or you have a car that the engine's fucked up, right? It won't run. It's not like you can limp it along until you get to that 3 weeks. It's like, it's fucked now.
It needs
like
seeing now, right? Yeah.
Right. What are you going to do? You're just out of car for a month? Well, again, if you have other arrangements, you can probably get around that, or a loaner car, you can rent a car. But if you're not, that's your only mode of transportation, and they can't fix your car for 2 weeks. Plus, then they got to get the motor and put it in. That's a 10 or 15 hour job, right? And then get it back to you. Dude, that could be a 3 week process. I'm like, who the hell can be now in the UK? You have that situation where like Joe is like, I don't even own a car, so it doesn't matter to me, right?
We have. Yeah,
you have a car, but you don't drive a car to go to work.
No, I don't.
So. Right. And I would love to not need to, but it's just what it is. Right. And so I mean, then what do you do? Right. So even with cars now, they're finding hard. Do they have that problem? I don't know how cars, there's probably less cars in the roads in the UK, probably less roads.
No, there's loads of cars all over the place.
Right. So are they running into the same problem? I wonder. I don't know if you know anybody in those industries, but I have a couple of buddies that are like, dude, sometimes we can't hire people. And if we do, they leave within a couple of months. They get in here and they're like, I'm not making enough money for this. The dealerships don't pay them enough. And they leave. They just quit and go somewhere else or start their own.
Skilled trades jobs, there is less people wanting to do that sort of stuff, isn't there? They
want to talk about cars. Right. Influencers and game programmers and testers and, YouTubers and tech. No, I just think generally too, is I don't necessarily think all they want to do is influence, but I think what it is I think most of those things those jobs are not very, they're kind of, I don't want to say, they're not very like visible, right? It's just kind of, it's manual labor. It's blue collar work as well. That's what we call it, right? Labor, it's first of all, you're outside or in a loud, noisy shop. You're on a car working all day. So you're getting your knuckles beat up and your hair is greasy and that's a lot of hard work. Mechanic work and service tech work is hard. So is tuck pointing and carpentry and house framing and everything else. Right. And kids, I just don't think they want to do that. They want to be outside in the elements. They don't want to be on a roof. They don't want to be in a sewer. They don't want to be laying bricks. They don't want to be fabricating pipes, right? They don't want to be in a hot garage with noise and crazy. Like they would much rather work in a more air conditioned. Also, I think also too is I think you can't flex if you're a mechanic. You know what I mean? You can't tell everybody, like, oh, you know, there's no flex. There's no like, you can't flex. No, I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, the kids I talk to, it's like, I don't know. It's just, it's a different.
I don't know about you, but it's handy to know a mechanic.
It's handy to know, but you can't go, like, nobody's going to sit there and do selfies at Instagram and going like, look at me working on this head gasket, right? Nobody's doing that, right? It's not a job where you
probably
can,
are now. Actually, if you go on TikTok, there probably is mechanics doing that now.
You know, I think what you see on TikTok a lot is people talking about cars and how to purchase a car or how to maintain a car. You know, mechanics are on there talking about, hey, you know, these are the car brands you should avoid. These are the things you should probably do, like change your oil every 5,000 miles, or, you know, things like that. It's more that kind of thing, and talking about mechanical stuff, and obviously running their own shops, right? And so I don't know. It just seems like, I don't know. I kind of thought I didn't like a lot of tech in my car, and a lot of the stuff is. And I got an app. I get the mini app, so I can, like. What's kind of cool is, it's kind of handy to have an app like that, because you can unlock the doors. Now you can pay for the auto start. I don't need the auto start. I just don't need it right now.
So what Lauren likes on our cars, she can heat it up before she goes.
Oh yeah, yeah, and they do offer that for, like, they have a free trial, like, where, but my car is in the garage, so it doesn't get real cold, and when it's outside, right? Well, yeah, if you don't have a garage, that, especially as cold as it gets and stuff, or especially if it's hot as it gets. What's cool about the Mini though is it has what's called ventilation mode. So I think it just opens the windows, and I think it just runs the basic fans. And what it does is you can actually set it to a time. So let's say, like, if you know you're getting off work at 4:00 and it's outside in a parking lot and it's a summertime, you can set it for 4:00, and at 4:00 the car will automatically ventilate and just kind of get some of that heat out of the car for you. Now that's pretty fucking slick. Like, that kind of shit I like. I like the voice assistant, and I like it's quirky. Oh, this is the other thing I like about it too. When you go through the modes, I know this is going to sound stupid, and it is pretty stupid, but Becky and I think it's great. So when you're going through the different modes, one of the modes is go-kart. So it's supposed to be like, you know, fun go-kart. When you actually go into that mode and it launches on the experience on the dashboard, on the display, it goes, woohoo! It's just so fucking cool. Like, I don't know why it makes me laugh every time it happens, but I just think it's cool. It's the
Italian in you, like Mario.
It is, and I think what it is what I like about the Mini is, it's, to me, it feels like a drive. It's like, it's still a motoring experience, right? And it ties me back to the way Minis used to be. Like, those were motoring cars, right? They were basic. Like, you see, I mean, you're in the UK. I mean, shit, that's the home of this car. Like, I would think that anybody who is British, at some point, either it's like a Volkswagen, like back in the 70s, you know, they were so cheap, and, you know, people had Volkswagen Beetles because that was kind of a cheap car and everybody had one. If you didn't have one, or your family didn't have one, you knew somebody that did. They were all over the place.
Cheap
right?
Car now.
Right. None of them are. Well, that's the problem. Is none of them are cheap anymore. Like, this is the one I got was the most basic Mini they make. It's the Mini C, and the Oxford. So it's the base model trim, and it was still 26 grand. And that's a lot to me. That's a lot of money. Some people, now some of the Minis, like the higher end John Works ones, they were like 50. I'm like, I cannot even conceptualize spending 1,000 quid for a car. It's crazy to me. It's just, I'm not doing it. And I don't need all that fancy dancy stuff, but what's funny is, so it's got this panoramic view and all this voice assist shit and all this Android Auto. And it's all great. You know what it doesn't have? Adaptive Cruise.
Yeah, you
I don't understand why. That's on that model. I'm like, what the fuck? It'll park itself, like literally spin the wheel and park itself and go out of spots and all that stuff. But it doesn't have, on the cruise control, it doesn't have adaptive cruise or active, like where it does the spacing. Like, it just makes me laugh. I think it's hilarious.
You've got to drive it, Sam. Sorry.
Right. I still got to drive. I know it's so off-putting that I have to drive it. The other thing I don't like about the car, that I've noticed that's different from other cars they have is there's not a lot of space to put stuff. I mean, you have the boot, you know, you got the boot, you can put stuff in there. And I noticed I said not the glove compartment. I said the boot because that's what it is. It's called the boot. And the trunk doesn't have, I mean, it's a hatchback. So the back seats, I mean, it's not much depth. I mean, it's pretty tall. I mean, you can lay the seats down. You got some decent cargo space, but the actual trunk space behind the rear seats, there's not a lot to it. I just noticed that, like, I used to have, like, you know, I had a little middle console, and in the Mini, that little arm bar that doesn't move. It's just like it's physically stuck there. Okay. It doesn't, there's nothing underneath it. It doesn't raise up. And then some of the Minis in the middle console there, it has like a little It's like a little box that kind of lifts up and has a lid. It's kind of nice. It says mini. This one didn't have it because it's a base model. I can get that. Holder. Yeah, there's 2 cup holders and then like this little tray.
Yeah,
and that's really about it. And then the glove, the boot. That's all you need. But I didn't keep a lot of stuff in my car, so I'm just trying to like work through all that stuff. But I'm telling you right now, it's a blast to drive. I have not been so excited to drive a car. Even when I bought the Mustangs, I never felt like I'm
really happy for you, Sam, because one thing you say at the end of the show is enjoy your tech, and
right, and I'm enjoying the tech in the car. Yeah. And like I said, I agree with Jermaine. It's more shit to break, but man, when it works, it's kind of fun. Like, and again, I understand kind of why people like have Teslas. Well, they have like the self-drive and the full self-drive and the one where it parks. It just comes out. I don't know. Maybe it's in a tight spot and you can maybe, like TK showed me how, on the phone, it comes out like 10 or so feet. It'll just roll out from a parking spot so you can get in and out of it. That's pretty cool. Like, I didn't think I would really kind of like dig that in a car, but it's kind of cool. But I do wish it had physical buttons for the climate control. But think about it. I kind of think what's cool about the voice act, and I actually tested it because some things work and some things don't. Like, you can open all the windows. You say, "Hey, Minnie," and it says, "Ooh, what's cool?" The little guy comes up. His name is Sparky. He goes, "Ooh," and then you say, "Hey, open all the windows," and it'll open up the panoramic sunroof and it rolls the windows down. It does that automatically. I think it's kind of cool. Like, and yeah, and thanks Jermaine for putting that in the chat. So I appreciate you. And yeah, and I do enjoy it. And then and it does, that matters to me. And I didn't have to spend $50,000. I don't need all this big fancy stuff. And I just, again, it's one of those things where and Becky likes the car too. That's what's kind of cool. Like, so we both now have our kind of cars we've wanted. She's wanted the truck for a long time, the Tacoma. I've got the Mini, and also it's bright yellow. Well, you know what's funny is, and I just noticed this over the last 2 years of driving it, as I'm walking through park.
Sam, just a quick observation. Like the usual stereotypical thing would be you would have the truck and she would have the little Mini.
Right. Oh, dude, that's what's funny. I'm funny you mentioned that, because the other day, and before I had the Mini, I was at a shop and I was driving the truck. Because I was getting the Mustang fixed, had all the hail damage. So I was driving her truck for about 2 weeks. And I went to a gas station, filling it up, and I was getting something like a snack or whatever. And the guy goes, "Oh man, it's a nice truck, man. It looks new. Did you get it? When'd you get that?" I was like, "Oh, that's my wife's truck." And it's funny is when I said that, the guy literally looked at me like if I had a man card, I should just hand it over, just shredded it. That's what it basically. He was like, "What do you mean you talking about?" I'm like, "Well, you got like a nice car, right?" I was like, "Oh, it's a Mustang, but it's an Ego Boost." He's like, "Oh, okay, that's cool." But that's hilarious, because then today, after I had Tai Chi, we went to shoot, because I bought a new handgun, just put some rounds through it just to kind of break it in.
And his man points back up there.
No, I like to shoot, and it's funny, and it's an American thing, so whatever, it's fine. So me and Becky goes to range, because we had not shot this weapon, and it's mostly for us to shoot with, but also it's for the house, so I need her to know that she can fire this goddamn weapon. So anyway, we're putting rounds through it, and so I'm sitting there. It's funny because then we go back out. We're paying for the lane because it's an indoor range. So we pay them for lane time. Got a couple targets, stuff like that. And the guy goes, he made a comment, and I said, "Yeah, I've got the Mini. She owns the truck." And it's funny because you can see it's like it messes with people's heads, because it should be reversed, right? I should be this. I'm an American. I got me a Ford F-150, and she's got the little girly car over there. And I was like, no, I got the Mini, and she's got
2025, dude. It's 2025.
Well, here's the funny thing, and she showed me this video on TikTok, and I thought it was kind of hilarious. It basically is talked about, so on cars, you have driver's side where the fuel is, right? And the passenger side where the fuel is. So back in years and years ago, cars they made cars with the fuel tank on either directly in the back of the car or on the driver's side, because men drove cars, and so that way they could get out of the car, and the fuel was on the same side as when they're getting out of the car as a driver, right? Mm-hmm. The reason why they had passenger side gas tank inlets is because women were driving and men would be passengers, and they would get out. Instead of the woman getting her own gas, the man would get out and get the gas on his, because he'd be the passenger. The gas would be on the same side, so the women didn't have to get out and pump their fuel. So what he said was, because of that design, basically, if you have a car that has a passenger side gas tank, you have a woman's car. And I was like, and it's funny, I didn't even notice this until every car I've owned, it's always been on the driver's side for some reason, like my Mustang and Blood Keys Tacoma. On the Mini, It's on the right side. It's on the passenger side. So I got a girl's car on top of the fact that it's yellow. Hey, Scoop. So hey, man, how you doing, sir? The only thing I did notice,
just jumped in and you're saying, I've got a girl's car.
I do have a girl's car. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's fun.
Care.
The funny thing though is another aside to that is, besides the fact that you mentioned that, Becky drives the truck, I drive the Mini, which is kind of funny. It's bright yellow. Like I don't have a picture of it here. Actually, I do have a picture of it. I took a picture.
Is it like highlighter yellow? Is it? Or
I don't know. I don't know what the exact color is. I don't know if it's called highlight yellow. It's just yellow. So hold on a second. I'm gonna try to see if I can.
Yeah, there's loads of shades of yellow.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shades of yellow. So let's take a look here. Let me see if I can pictures. Did I take a camera roll? I swear the interface on OneDrive on PC is so weird to me. It's just yeah. Okay, there it goes. I'm trying to show a picture where I don't have my license plate.
I'm going to an event this week, Sam. Next.
Oh yeah,
Wednesday. Yeah, I should see a phone that's not coming out till January.
Okay, can you talk about the phone, or is it super secret ninja stuff?
Well, they've not even told me the conditions of the embargo, so I don't know what I can talk about, what I can't. But it's an honor event, I'll say that.
Oh, it's an honor phone. Okay, so well, I noticed that and apparently our buddy Darren, he's got his OnePlus 15, and he has had tons of problems. I don't know if he got a defective unit or what. Oh yeah, have you been watching that? He said like he's had Bluetooth issues and all sorts of other stuff, and it was he's not at all. Matter of fact, not only is he not impressed, he's actually quite upset about it. I guess I don't know whatever phone that OnePlus sent him.
It must be a 40 unit.
It's got to be because he's had all sorts of tons of problems with it. He is not happy.
Good things about the OnePlus 15 from other people.
Well, also you got the I'm curious to see because that's got that new battery technology, but it's 7,000 milliamps. I'm curious to see if that really kind of makes.
Well, Dan and Mac both have the X9 Pro, and they're both saying very good things about the battery life. Very good things.
And I'm just wondering if because I know they're the same phone, right? But I'm wondering if it's on the other side of the fence. Maybe they wouldn't first 15. I think you got a bad unit. Personally, I would send that back to OnePlus and tell them, hey, man, this is something wrong with this phone, and see if they give him a new one. But Darren's had a lot of problems from the tech disruptors. He's really had some issues with his device that he got. And then I know that
probably using it wrong.
Yeah, it's probably operator error. It's probably fair. And I know that Jason got the Titan, the Unihertz Titan 2. I really want to check it out. Well, I'm going to wait for it to come out on.
It's a chunky boy though, but I want to get hands on one. Yeah.
Also, it's supposed to be, and he said it in a couple of weeks, they should have the AT&T certification. So when they do, and that's fully certified, I might check it out. I'd like to. I mean, I'm okay with the thicker phone, and I still like a physical keyboard. I kind of wish it was still. I wish there was a BlackBerry Key 3. I wish BlackBerry was still kind of in the race, but. Be that as it may, but I mean, I'm really curious about it. Yeah, but I think it's 7,200. It's something crazy. And it's a silicon carbide, so it's even better. So, and I'm just curious how can you effectively really hit that phone hard and get 2 days out of it? I mean, obviously, if you try to nuke the battery on purpose, obviously not. But I'm saying the way you would normally use a phone and it lasts throughout the day, I'm wondering if you use the phone the same way, can it get through 2 days with that kind of, because remember, they always talk about, we just need a bigger milliamp cell and it'll last 2 days and 3 days. I'm like, well, here we're going to find out, right? Because finally somebody decided to put a 7,200 in it as a commercial phone and with a different battery technology. Let's see if it holds true. I think it probably should last 2 days.
I think it could be a 2 day phone for a lot of people. Yeah.
Well, shit, for some people who don't use it a lot, it might even be a 3 day phone.
Yeah, possibly,
but my question would be is those people who don't, that's what I hear that all the time and I'm thinking, but is a regular person maybe going to get that, or they get maybe a different phone that's not as expensive? That's obviously a flagship Oppo, right? But when people, because you guys do you sell those at O2? I don't know if they're in the store, right? The Oppos?
No, for some reason we had the X8 Pro, but for some reason they haven't ranged the X9 Pro, which is quite disappointing for me.
Right, might be a sales thing because I know AT&T will do that. Like they had the original Pixel Fold, but they didn't bring the 9 Pro Fold because I guess they didn't sell enough, which was kind of disappointing because I would have got that instead of the Fold 7. But yeah, I'm just curious because I wonder. They always say, well, maybe people who don't use their phones a lot, are they really buying that kind of phone? Or are they more buying the budget or mid-range style phones, right? They're only spending a few dollars because they don't want to spend $1,000 or $1,100 on this X9 Pro. They would rather get the X9, or they'd rather get more of a mid-range style, like a Nord kind of phone or Moto phone.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah,
I did see
6 from Samsung, something like that.
so, yeah, which obviously, you know, and I did see that the Spurt got his hands on that new Moto, the Edge 70 or whatever.
Do you know what? It's like you.
That looks wild.
I
Dude,
did Jedi skills there,
crazy.
because I was going to mention that next.
Oh, okay. I saw that. I was like, dude, I think they're starting to get in people's hands. It looks, I mean, I haven't had a Moto like slab phone since the what the hell did I have? Oh, the G Stylus. I like the G Stylus.
The Edge looks really nice, honestly.
I think it looks. I like that green, and I know a lot of people don't like green for some reason on that phone, but I think that looks pretty good.
Yeah, I like the highlights of so like around the rings, and that's got like the lime color with the green. Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, it looks. I just wonder if it's going to be the same problems, right? You know, stock Android experience or minimal Android experience, right?
Yeah, it will be that. Yeah.
Cameras probably aren't going to be the top of the shelf, but I think they're getting better.
I think
but obviously
a lot better. Yeah.
Are they going to compare it to like an Oppo or a Vivo? No.
No, I'm not just saying it because I'm a motivator, but they have got a lot better.
Which Moto? It's called the Edge. Is it the Edge 70?
Edge 70, yeah. Edge 70.
Yeah, it's the Edge 70. I don't know if they're gonna. I think it's in the UK. I don't know if it's
the Moto Air.
Yeah, the Moto.
I think it's called. I think it might be called the Air in China actually.
Oh, really? Probably so.
I think so. Yeah, it's the Edge 70 here, but I'm going to look that up quickly.
Yeah, it looked pretty cool. I'm glad that Spurt actually got some time in. I didn't watch the whole video, but I noticed that he did kind of get in on it and see. Looks pretty cool. Like I think that might be a phone if you're looking for a Moto and you want, and if the thin is in. I know a lot. The
X70 Air, it's called in China.
The X70 Air.
Yeah,
I know. I had a feeling, Jermaine. I had a feeling. I know. He's probably not a fan. I get it. I'm not exactly. It's probably not, the thin thing is not my cup of tea.
The only thing I will say, Sam, is the Edge 60 and Edge 60 Pro are really thin enough as it is. Like I don't.
Right. Like, why do they have to go all the way in? Right.
Yeah.
Is it just because the iPhone Air and the S25 Edge? Maybe there's like.
But the big difference between the Moto one is the price point.
Oh yeah, of course.
So that's why I'm actually interested in that one, because the price point's reasonable.
Yeah, so I guess I'm assuming that Jermaine is not a fan of the thins. Now, is it just because it's thin? Why do it for thin sake, or is it just because it has reduced cameras and compromises that are just way too?
It has two cameras on the
right. I'm curious what Jermaine. I wonder if it's just the thinness of it, or is it because there's compromises, and why do you need to go thin? Oh, thin is fine. Camera placement looks horrible in terms of design. Okay. All right. No, that's probably fair. I mean, there's a lot of, and that's subjective too, because I know a lot of people that don't like the way the 17 Pro, like the camera housing on the iPhones, that bar that goes across now. Yeah, it's just it's kind of like people don't like it. I will tell you, I was listening to somebody, and I think it was the gentleman that you guys talked to on the phone show chat, the last one I listened to. Scott, yeah, he was talking about the bar on the 6. I agree with him. I much prefer the visor, the Geordie LaForge.
Yeah,
I prefer that way more than this. I mean, I don't hate this, but dude, the Geordie LaForge that were just melted into both sides, I thought that was a really good
cool
look.
Yeah,
I really wish that was what they would stay with. I actually like the design of the Pixel 4 XL. I love that phone. Just the small little square. I had the orange one with the black frame. I love that, and I still think that they should have kept a Soli radar and make that work. I liked using my 4XL. Actually,
that's one thing about the Oppo changing to like the square module to one side. I prefer the circle in the middle myself.
Yeah, I don't, and I understand what Samsung, you got it's all on the side, and I do like the fact that it's got kind of a, you got kind of the circles that are kind of, and that's pretty nice. But I agree. I kind of like.
Yeah, I like a circle in the middle.
Yeah, the circle in the middle is nice. Or like, again, I just wish the camera bar was, I don't know. I really wish they would have kept with the Pixel 6 design on that visor. I really like the way that kind of melted into the frame, to the chassis. I kind of like that. I thought aesthetically it looked better to me than the pill. But that's what's good about phones. They're all subjective. You can get what you want. So But yeah, man. So it's funny. Before the show started, Josie had been driving the Mini. I say I woke up this morning and all I want to do is get in that car and go to Tai Chi. That's what I wanted to do this morning, and that's
I love that.
And,
that's great.
And it looks like, and it's, you know what I like. Also, I like about it is, it seems like there's I don't know about in the UK, but definitely in the United States, there's a real healthy Mini community where they get like get-togethers and rallies and all that kind of stuff. And they kind of, and it looks like it's a lot more of a. What's cool about it is it seemed like when I always had the Mustang, other Mustang owners would kind of look down on me because I had an EcoBoost or whatever. But what's funny is in the Mini community is like, oh, you got a Cooper S? Oh, cool. You got a Cooper C? It's not the. Oh, it's okay. You still got a Mini. You're cool, dude. It's all good, right? You know, it seems like no matter what, if you have a Countryman or a Clubman or an older Mini or newer Mini, you know, the newer ones, a lot of people are kind of zonking them because it doesn't have the, you know, the old school thing. It doesn't have an exposed tailpipe. It's kind of, you know, it's a little bit refined, and they like the old Minis, the way they looked, you know, like the 2020 Minis or whatever. But just because I don't have a John Cooper Works, nobody's going to say, well, shit, you should have got a Cooper Works instead of this bullshit ass Cooper C, you little bitch, right? And they'll just be like, you got a Mini Cooper? Cool, man. You're awesome, right? And I got a little duck, got a little racing duck out of it. So a little duck. It's got a little racing duck.
Is that the color of the yellow?
Yeah, it's the color of the car. I think, and then they gave me, and the cool part is the guy gave me I got a little mini bag. Mini sales. It's a little fabric bag. Then, yeah, I know they gave me a bunch of shit, right? It was great. And then I got little koozies. These are little, you know, you put your sodas or your pops or cans, right? You know, St. Louis. That's why I bought. Yeah, it's a little koozie. And then at the bottom it has this for the love of driving in the loop. And then I got 2 T-shirts. Nice. And you know what's funny is the guy. Hold on a minute. Oh, the salesperson bought the shirts for me and Becky. Like they have like a little shop. They have like, you know, bullshit and keychains and swag and stuff. He actually bought the 2 T-shirts with his own money and gave them to us. That's how much he was like excited, because I was so. And even today I was driving. Becky was in the car.
He claims it back. He didn't tell you that bit.
I don't care. You know what? But you know what's funny is that's the first time I bought a car, and they offered to give you a little swag. I like that kind of shit.
Nice.
I think it's nice. I mean, it's a nice little touch. I thought
I feel like you've joined a club,
right? And it's kind of cool. Like, and again, and I don't know. I know, and I when it comes to cars, and the fact that when you go to go-kart, it goes woohoo! I think it's just kind of funny, right? It's
the little things in life, isn't it?
It's little things like that. You kind of, and I think just remember, folks, and this is just a general piece of advice. You know, I know we get bogged down with work and school and kids and all that stuff, and I'm, you know, dealing with all that stuff at work too. It's busy, and Joe's busy, and you know, but realize that try to find things that bring you peace, and try to find things that make you joy. And if it's whether it's a phone, whether it's spending time with your daughter, little moments like going to Costco or whatever, or going to a store and getting a little cup, or she laughs at one of your goofy jokes, or she's, you know, it's one of these things where she's going to a kid's dress up day and she's dressed like some weird Godzilla kid with like a tutu on, right? And you just go, what the hell's going on? Those little moments are what kind of try to enjoy those things, and don't get so bogged down, and try to be present. And also try to just, enjoy the little things you get, because we only have so much time on this planet, folks. We're all going to plot. At the end of the day, we're all borrowed time, right? So try to enjoy things. And then that doesn't mean that life isn't stressful and sucks a lot of times, and work and stuff like that. But, you know, it's funny how, as I was driving down, I was kind of back home, and I was kind of like discovering things in the car. We were just talking about it. Becky goes, I have not seen you this happy about a car in the entire time I've ever known you. You're like a kid, like a little kid that's so excited, like it's Christmas morning and you finally got the car you want to drive. And I said, yeah, especially for somebody like me who commutes a lot because I live far away from where I live. I mean, if you're going to pay for something and have all this stuff, it might as well be something you enjoy. And I first 2 days, I have to admit, I really like the car a lot. So
I bet it's pretty nippy as well.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, so on the Mini Cooper S and the C, so there's those cars, it's the same exact engine. It's on the Cooper C. They actually used software to detune it, so it's actually only puts out 161 horse and 180 foot-pound of torque. It's the same exact engine in the Cooper S, except that they take that off, and it's 181 and 190 torque. So yeah, I lose 20 horsepower, but it's since the car weighs so little. And another thing I noticed about Minis is,
so Sam, could you hack that then and make it?
You know, it's funny because I know. In Mustang world, they have EC2. They can tune them, right? You can take the tunes, you can EC tune them and ECUs, and you can fuck with them and unlock them and all that stuff. And people were pissed off about the new Mustangs because it's still locked by Ford. They can't modify it yet. On the old S550s, when I had, you could. I know there's a way probably to do it. Like if I want to go to a mod shop or whatever, that they can unlock it and I would get a Cooper S horse. Yeah. Again, like I said, it's a software and any software can be modified or hacked. And that's kind of what's kind of nice about the fact that it has the same physical engine, but the computer is basically throttling it down and detuning it to 160. If you could find a way to unlock that. Now, I don't think Mini's going to offer you I don't think Mini's going to offer you a way to do it, but I'm pretty sure somebody out there, because there's a way to do it. If it's a computer, somebody's found a way to tune that out. So I haven't thought about that, but
get on Reddit. Yeah, there'll be a mini community.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, there's already many communities that are pretty robust. So, like I said, I still like to have physical buttons. I still do like having less going on to brake and stuff. But I do kind of enjoy some of the tech in the Mini, and it's pretty cool. That screen is really nice, especially for the navigation because it's the whole screen, and it's really nice because on the heads-up display it'll actually show you the turn points and stuff. So on that little heads-up, so it's pretty handy when you're doing navigation and stuff. And then just having the Hey Mini, and you can actually, the other thing I like is on the app it has where you can honk the horn. So if you're like in a parking lot, and I've done this before,
we did.
I remember, when I remember when I was driving. When I was I took Anna to a concert and it was in Chicago. There was 25,000. It was like an amphitheater. I couldn't remember where we parked the car. At that time I had a Honda Civic, a gray one. And I swear to God, I had to wait until people started to kind of clear out. And it took us 30 minutes to find the car, and then I had to get out. But it's funny. Yeah, it's kind of funny. The only thing is, Becky's like, well, I'll tell you one thing. We won't lose this car in a parking lot. And what I was saying earlier was a couple places I've went today. There are no yellow cars anywhere. Like that's not a car. It's all like gray and black and red and blue and white, right? There's no yellow car. She goes, honey, this is the only yellow car in the entire parking lot. So it's kind of fun. I've had a good time, and I like the tech too. So I don't know if I'm ready for a full computer Tesla self-driving thing. I don't know if I'm there yet. Just watch that thing back out of the spot and watching the steering wheel just turn on its own. It pegs. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. I don't know about that yet. You still have to handle the gas and brake. It does the turning part, but you still have to do that. It doesn't.
It's pretty cool. Used to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it must be about 7-8 years ago now. We had that. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was cool. Like I said, it was just it was weird because I set it up and it did the parking assist, and it says, you push the button and it actually which way if you want to go, backing left or backing right, and I did it. And as soon as I pushed the button, the fucking wheels goes. I was like,
yeah.
I hit the gas and it was like, I did it, and I hit the brake and then put in the drive. I'm like, now it can't also park into a spot. No, I haven't tried that yet because that still freaks me out. I don't want to be in a place where it runs into a car. I haven't gotten comfortable with that yet, but apparently it does not only it parallel parks, but it also pulls into spots. You can actually hit the gas and back up, and it goes off of vehicles. Like it won't go off the lines of the parking space. They have to be cars, and it will actually back up into the spot space.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if I'm there yet. Maybe I will be, but not.
I mean, that's quite old tech. It's been about for a long time. As long as the sensors are there.
Yeah. I just never had a car that had all that kind of stuff.
Have faith, Sam.
Yeah, until I run into somebody's car at a parking lot.
You won't.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's cool. So I'm really enjoying it, and the tech is cool. And that's apparently a Samsung made that display. That's a Samsung made display.
And we know Samsung make very good displays.
It's. I'll tell you one thing, man. It's a little laggy at points. Like sometimes it kind of stutters a bit, but I think that's just the interface and the software. But the actual screen itself it's bright and it's colorful, and it's everything a Samsung display should be. It's what I've come to expect. So it's cool. I'm looking forward to it, and everything's good, man. So let me know about that event, and we can chat about that. And
I should get details on the embargo soon, and then I know.
Oh, also, I was going to ask you about the Razor. Have you been using that or no? I was going to ask you about that last week.
Well, I'm still going to put my main SIM in there eventually, but because of this Honor event, I'm going to keep my SIM in the V5 for a bit longer now.
That makes sense.
But I have used it a fair bit, and it's not really the form factor for me. But I do like the device. It's a really great device. It really is.
But you're not ready for a flip though, you think?
Yeah, I don't think flips my sort of form factor. I prefer a candy bar or a candy bar that becomes a more.
Yeah, you're more of a fold, mold fold,
Fold, yeah, or
and I think so
January.
too. And I think so. I liked having the flip, but I would do agree. I think fold. If I had to pick one or the other, I would probably lean towards fold more for me. But I do like the flips. They are fun. And I did follow your homework. I did watch Nobody. Me and Becky watched it.
Yeah, you did.
Really good movie. It's a little predictable, but I thought it was enjoyable as hell. And
It's so fun.
It's a fun movie. Other than on the bus, I was like, man, why are you getting back on this bus, dude? It's like I'd just be like, you know, I got to throw out the fucking window. I'm done. Like I'm done. You know, and then it's just it's kind of like it's like a funny John Wick. Like that's kind of how it felt to me. It was kind of the same kind of thing because you know some of the stuff is like even one thing he looks like he gets shot. I'm like he's just like, dude, if you got shot like that, you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, just don't bring it up. You know, it's good. Yeah, fucked up, dude. But it was enjoyable. And I haven't watched Nobody 2 yet because I think you said it was not as good. But
for me, it's not as good. It's worth watching. Definitely.
Yeah, I did watch Nobody, so I did do the homework. And you are right. It's a funny. I don't understand like watching it as me looking at Bob Odenkirk's character. Like I don't see like how he reminds me. I think it's just the general look, maybe, but I don't.
Yeah, it's a general look. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like there was anything that I was like he acts like me, and I was no. But yeah, so it was kind of good. But yeah, it was an enjoyable movie, and yeah, if you haven't seen it, although I had it on, I didn't pay for it. It was on Amazon Prime. Had a 3-minute commercial at the beginning, which is fine, and then halfway through, like the 45-minute mark, it just cut to another 3-minute commercial.
I hate that, man.
I was like, God, and I would rather just pay for the rental for $3.99 or $4.99 and then not have that. I mean, it wasn't off-putting. It was like, okay, that's fine. Actually, it was nice because actually it was. You know what it used to be is what I did with it is that was when you went to the bathroom, like during network TV. If you had the commercials, you get up and use the restroom, you go get a sandwich, get a drink. That kind of thing. The only thing I didn't like, and this is an American thing, is they had like 3 1-minute adverts. 2 of the 3 on both sides were for some kind of pharmaceutical commercial. I fucking wish that was illegal. I wish the United States would make that illegal. I hate that shit. Hey, do you suffer from, does your hair fall out and then catch on fire and drip blood? You do? Well, take this medication. You ask your doctor about. Go fuck yourself. And you're like, go fuck yourself. Then it's like, okay, you got this thing. And then it's like, okay, well, the side effects are gout and rectal bleeding and cramps and I don't know, liver failure. I'm like, maybe it's like the medication sounds probably worse than the goddamn thing you have. I'll probably just stick with the thing I have. I hate that the United States allows pharmaceutical companies to actually advertise directly to people. And some of the shit, I'm like asking Becky, I'm like, have you ever heard of this condition before? One was for like kids, I guess, who have esophageal flaring or swelling. Apparently it's in kids. I had no clue it was a thing. It's like, they're kids. I don't know any kid who's got this. But ask your kid about thing. I don't think so, but that was the commercial. It was for if your kid suffers from below the ages of 14, they have this thing, esophageal edema, whatever it was. I don't know if that's it. I was like, just looking at Becky going, God, do you know anybody who's got this disease? And why are they like, it's just so weird. They ban alcohol commercials, they ban tobacco commercials, yet you can sell drugs directly. And I know the EU and other places that's banned. Like they don't do that. And people I talk to who live in Europe go, they do that in the United States. Like they not only do they do it, it's like all the time, man. It's crazy. Well, it's nuts.
They've got the money to pay for advertising.
Oh God, yeah. It's like the oil companies. They got billions of dollars. That's what I'm saying. It's just like it'd be different if it was like once in a while. You know, people do have like eczema and people do have diabetes and do have serious medical conditions. But some of these commercials come out and they, hey, have you ever had like things and like their conditions that like I've never heard of this thing. And I don't know. And it's just like you should ask your doctor. And then they want you to say, you go ask your doctor about. And
then what does everyone do? They Google it.
And then they'll go run up there and they go, hey, doc, I saw this commercial for this. And it's like, can I get that? And they're like, yeah, sure. And like, do they even ask you if you even have the condition? Do they test you, see you had it? Or they just say, yeah, sure. If you want it, here you go. I'll just prescribe it to you. It's like, I don't know, just the whole thing was weird. So in those commercials, I just got up and left the room and then I went to the restroom and I came back. But it was weird because I thought I did the rental, but I thought, oh, I guess I did. It's part of Amazon Prime, but they put commercial right at the beginning for 3 minutes and it didn't say. Usually they'll tell you like commercial starts in 5, 4. You know, it gives you a countdown. It just went right to it, right in the middle of a scene. It's just boom. I was like, yeah, man. At least warn me if you're going to take me to a commercial, so like I'm involved in the scene. I'm like, I was enjoying the movie, and it's like right in the middle of it. It's like Like, oh, we're 3-minute commercial.
Cheers for that. Thanks.
Yeah. Sorry, Amazon. That sucks. Don't do that. Anyway.
Yeah,
all right, mate. Well, we're over time. We're at 1 hour, 18 minutes. And we were supposed to have the captain on this week, but he has to move to next week. So next week we should have the captain on. That'll be a good time. And we'll have some more to talk about, and we'll talk about some other stuff. I have some gaming stuff, and I'm going to save that for the next show because I've kind of went over with this car thing. So sorry, folks, if I kind of ranted a lot. I apologize. It's been a long
We all got joy from your joy.
Yeah, and then just the fact that, and just now it's just I finally have, I mean, it's funny, I haven't told anybody about it, so I'm curious. My daughter's known, Becky knows, but that's it. So I'm excited about the car. I'll keep giving you, I'll give you more as I learn new tech and new stuff about the car. I'll tell everybody, but it's pretty cool. Like I said, man, it's so like I said, so I've now broken I now have tech in my car, which is like the last bastion of me having a not techie.
Sam has a mini.
I have a mini my yellow submarine. Anyway, so but yeah, so like I said, whatever tech you're into, if you're looking for a new car or a new phone or whatever, just try to enjoy it as much as you can, especially if you're paying for it. And and also you'd be surprised, man. You might spend a little bit more money and think it's not worth it, but then if you start using it, you might actually really get to like it, right? So again, everything in your budget, but if you can spend a little couple extra dollars and it gives you some joy or makes your life better or something you can show off to people and it's just something cool to do, like whether it's a foldable, whether it's Ray-Bans or a Meta Quest or whatever it is you do, try to enjoy it and have some fun with your tech and show your friends and and have fun with it. And but also if you're gonna have conversations about it, don't be an asshole. If somebody has a disagreeing opinion about it, don't tell them they're stupid. Just go, oh, okay. Like Jermaine's more into playing, and again, more stuff to break, absolutely. But don't be that guy, right? Don't give people shit about it. And if you see these creators online making content and you don't agree about the camera capability, or if you think the phone's got a shitty battery, if your phone didn't do the thing they said it did, don't send them a bunch of feedback that says they're an idiot. Just realize that your situation may vary, your use case may vary, and and also, just like Jimmy says, don't be a dick.
Yep.
And don't be a dick. And then also, if you want to skin your phone and you don't like the color and you want to protect it, go to extremeskins.co.uk. Go check them out. Buy one, get ones all the time. They got a great thing. Ship pretty quickly. Even if you're in the United States, you can still get it too. Might take a couple of extra weeks just because there's an ocean and shit. So you got to get around that. And also customs. They got to look at that stuff too. Also, the de minimis has been removed, so now you got to pay for that shit too. Thanks to the administration for removing that. I think that's still shitty, but whatever. But anyway, so if you live in the UK and you want to spruce up your phone, give it some different colors, go check them out. Tell them we sent you, and it'll be a good time. And we like Extreme Skins; they do a good job. Good customer service. If you have an issue, just reach out to them by email, and they'll sort you out. So for that, we appreciate it. Also, this whole getting dark at 5:00 sucks. I don't like this shit. It's depressing.
Yeah.
It's weird because what's weird about it is I start getting tired at like 7. I think it's like really late. And I'm like, it's 6:30. And I'm like already getting tired because it's dark outside. It's so weird.
That's anyway, probably an age thing, mate.
Yeah, it's probably because I'm getting old. That's fair. All right, man. So for myself, for Mace Windu over here, thanks for coming to the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. We'll be back next Sunday. Should have the captain on. That'll be a great show. We appreciate it. This is episode 145. It's easier to track this stuff now. I don't know if anybody paid attention. So if anybody actually reads the notes for last week's show, I'm going to see if anybody in the chat real quick saw what I wrote, because I did not see any kind of feedback. I basically said, essentially what I came back is, and I'll wait a couple minutes to see if anybody responds, but I put a little Easter egg in the show notes, and I wonder if anybody actually caught it. And I don't know how the show notes show up. Maybe they do, or maybe they don't.
They should do.
So
yeah,
they do. And I just said, I put in the show notes a little bit. And so I didn't actually, I'm seeing if anybody actually caught it. And if they did, I'm serious. Oh, so basically in the show notes, I'm going to read exactly what I wrote. I said, we chat all things tech, sports, and I'm not even sure if anyone actually reads these comments or show notes. If you do, please send feedback to nomadtechproject@gmail.com. I did not get one email. So apparently nobody's reading the comments. Yeah. I just thought, you know what? After I do them all the time, and I don't go crazy. Because honestly, I'm going to be perfectly frank with you. I forget half the shit we talk about in the show, and I don't go re-listen to it. Oh, so he did. Okay. He did read it. Okay. I'm just curious. And so I always put like a little synopsis about stuff. And after last week's show, I was just like, I don't think anybody's actually reading this bullshit. So I'm just going to put a little jab in there. It's like, hey, if you read this, let me know. And if you don't read this, then I won't do any more show notes about it unless we have a guest on. I'll put links to their shit, but I won't do show notes. I'll just kind of, he didn't read it at all. Okay. See, nobody. Okay. So that's what I thought. I don't think anybody reads those goddamn things. So honestly, if you don't care about
it just now,
right. Here's the thing, folks. If you don't care about the show notes because you're just going to listen anyway, which again, why would you? But
perhaps our listeners didn't know there was show notes. Guys, there is show notes. Check them out.
There are show notes, and let's make a consensus. I'm not going to put show notes anymore. But if we do have a guest on that has we're not doing the show notes anymore. But if we have a guest on, I will make sure I put links to any of their socials, and so especially have engagement. Now we're not going to have a lot of that because probably most of the people that are coming on now are probably people you know and whatever. But if we do have a guest on that actually has socials, that maybe is a newer person, I will link those for sure. But other than that, I'm not going to write a little paragraph about what we talked about. Nobody's reading it. Who gives a shit? Just listen to the show. Tell your friends to listen to the show. And we always appreciate you guys listening. So
yep.
Anybody who listens and comes in, and Jermaine being here the whole time, I know it's late. Thank you so much for everybody, Jimmy and all the folks. And I saw everybody that stops by and comes in. Scoop came in for a bit. Shermer was in here. I saw John in a minute ago. Everybody in here. TA. Yeah, Tech Fear. Luis was in here. TA was in here. Yeah, all the people, thank you so much for coming by. Even if you drop in for a few minutes and just put a comment in there and say, hey, how's it going, guys? You know what? That means a lot to me. It makes me feel good. We're still going to continue to do the show because I like it. It's cathartic, and I'd have fun doing it with Joe. I enjoy this. I actually look forward to this every week. I love having this conversation. Yeah. And Nick's here. It. Oh, good. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate it. And if you're lurking, that's great. You don't have to go ahead and put show notes. Don't feel obligated. If you're just lurking and you don't want to say anything, that's cool. No big deal. Just listen and enjoy it. I am glad everybody does get a kick out of it, even when I have long-winded episodes where I'm flipping out about this. I'm just excited about the car, and I do kind of miss the Mustang. I kind of like the car. I didn't get rid of it because I hated it. I was just like, it was just time for me to get a car I've been wanting to get. And so we'll see how it goes. And hoping to keep it for a long time. The tech is fun. It's pretty cool. Like, I'm learning shit. The voice activation stuff is actually kind of cool. So I think I found a way to get past the climate control. I can just because some things don't work. And the guy's like, just ask it, hey Mini, and just ask it to do a thing. And the reason why I said why, he goes, is there like a list of things that commands that work? He goes, no, because BMW is adding software and adding features to that. He goes, actually, the thing that opens and closes your windows in your panoramic sunroof, that wasn't available 6 months ago. They did an update to the software where they're adding commands to the Hey Mini, right? And so I was like, kind of cool. So he goes, yeah, if you want to try to do something, like I thought that I was telling Becky, I was like, let's see I can see if I can change the climate just by saying it. So I said, hey Mini, change the climate to 65 degrees. And it says, changing the climate to 65 degrees. And it's like, hey, that's pretty cool. Like, it just did it. I'm like, hey. And then no adaptive cruise. I don't get that. That's so weird. It parks itself, but I can't have adaptive cruise. Whatever. It's cool.
You need to hack it, mate. You need to hack it.
Right. I need to hack it. I'll probably break the fucking thing. So no, I'll just do it.
Yeah, maybe don't
do
that.
Absolutely. So, all right, Joe. Anything else before we wrap it up for the rest of the day? Any final thoughts for the crew here before we wrap it up?
No, I don't think so. No. If I did, I've forgotten it.
That's okay.
I don't think I've got anything that's going to inspire anyone. I'll save it for next week.
Right, exactly. And don't worry, it's one of these. As soon as we hang up in like 10 minutes, you're going to be like going to the loo, and you're going to go, oh shit.
That always happens, yeah.
Right, always. And then you don't write it down like you said. I would say I'm going to write it down, and I never do, and then I forget it. And it's whatever.
Yeah,
it's because I'm old. Shit happens. I forget stuff. It's fine. All right. So again, thanks for everybody in the live chat. Again, don't forget to download the podcast. Tell your friends. Listen later. Leave feedback if you want to, or don't. That's cool. And I just can't thank. Me and Joe can't thank you guys all enough, and gals, and listen to come in the show and listen to this and engage and be part of this community. It's always a lot of fun, and I look forward to this every week and seeing all the chats and stuff like that. So thanks for engaging in the chat, asking questions. Thanks for participating and kind of being just awesome human beings. And so again, don't be a dick. Enjoy your tech. Check out extremeskins.co.uk. Stay hydrated. Enjoy your tech, and we will see you next Sunday on the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe. Take care. Love you guys. Have a good week.
Bye-bye.